A star is born. Yes. So, yours truly, Tyler Lord Hamilton. And the reason why I have... Well, where was the other lipstick? I don't even know, but I think it's in the other room. But I was going to show you that the red lipstick is Chanel, but the middle is also Chanel. Let's just leave it at that. But see, the thing is earlier today when I put this Chanel lipstick on, I thought, oh, I love it so much. I want double the lipstick. So I put a second layer on, but it was just a different color, and it was over the other mouth. That's how I came out with two today, because I love the brand Chanel. Anyway, so in the last several days, I have been getting a wonderful response from all you. I love you all. And, yes. What I wanted to talk with you about today is are you ready to come out? I know, it's the big question, guys. Are you ready to come out? Come out of what? Come out of what closets? What shadows of prejudice or what inner homophobia you may have as a gay man in a... They call it a gay community, but that's still yet to be debated. Thank God for the Tyler Lord Hamilton University College of Social and Behavioral Sciences. Oh, I've shown this before in an earlier video, but I'm going to show it to you again so we can just go into the talk about, are you ready to come out? Okay, but listen, this is what I'm doing because I'm out, okay, and this is what I've been able to do, and I'm going to help you do things like this, and you're going to help me do things like this, okay? It's going to be a give and take between me and the men, but listen, I believe since Donald J. Trump, yes, darling, since Donald J. Trump, thank you, I love you, all you girls that have yellow stockings too. Let's flash the name. Aloha. Anyway, it's just an actress that we're going to do what we can to help her. Yes, gentlemen at Social Alchemy Project Access Management, we are not limited to men. We do have a whole open stream of affection for women and helping them too. It's about humanity, but well, starting with the core problem in your life, which is you. Usually the problems you have with people has to do with an issue about you. Oftentimes people will reject people because they represent something about you or themselves that they don't want to get close to. So, because of Donald J. Trump grabbing pussy with no apologies on YouTube to cover children's ears, because a woman is a celebrity, I want people to know that that type of behavior is called sexual assault. If that ever happens, you call the police. And also hiring prostitutes as United States President as well. So this is a very odd time if you are a man of morality or a man of your word or a man of higher education. So even with men like wired to religion, such as actor, megastar, what have you, Tom Cruise, Scientologists have not been known concurrently to be putting money into LGBT for any reasons, but in LGBT and MSM, men who have sex with men, LA is the fastest and heaviest carrier of STDs in the nation, and yours truly, Tyler Lord Hamilton, is in Beverly Hills. So, we are looking at good old-fashioned men's research, social sciences, presented to Dr. Tyler Hamilton, PhD, forthcoming, okay? Working on my proposal, my dissertation. Founding father of the Tyler Hamilton University College of Social Behavioral Sciences, Beverly Hills, California. This is where you're going to find all the education that is funneled through Social Alchemy Project Access Management, regardless of the profanity and the shock rock and the queer theory and the planet homo mentality and the gay militant activist mentality. You know, anything that you know about gay men that you're not interested in, or maybe you are, but you're not into the scene, that kind of thing. Or whether you're a straight man and you're discovering me. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who I am as far as orientation persuasion goes. So, in the evolution of men, one of the first questions collectively, in fact, as an ethical, welcoming collective consciousness in the day of early Greek, Roman philosophers, Aristotle, Plato, certain philosophers would be known to take young boys underneath their wing, okay? Now, these boys may to you, in your social laws, be underage, okay? We're not getting into men, boys, you know, love association. We're not getting into, we go about as far as, like, Mankind's Project. If you don't know anything about Mankind Project, look into it and then get back to me. So pause this video, and then go back to me. But let me put this back on the wall, because I never have things just hanging around, because everything has its own place. I'm going to help you with your clutter. I'm going to help you organize your life and your thoughts. And I'm going to help what? Walk you through your own reality of redemption. So, in the social sciences emergency of LGBT, to put in dentures, I can barely even speak. Much better. So, what we're putting into action, okay, has already been in action. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. There's been men's organizations all over the world, okay? You can't just walk into this business saying nothing exists. Things do exist. But in particular to Los Angeles, and the way people put Los Angeles down, and Los Angeles has the largest LGBT center in the world. Not one of the largest, but the largest. Not to be arrogant, but it's completely glamorous to be a little bit arrogant and self-confident about that. Thank you very much, Hollywood. We also have the largest Democratic headquarters in the world, but yet we have affluent Hollywood with amazing universities in this city, and yet the highest STDs in the nation. Why? It's because of the geosocial networking applications, Grindr, Scruff, Jacked, Adam for Adam, perhaps places you've discovered me at, before realizing I want to come out. This Tyler Hamilton is an amazing dude. And sign me up for Social Alchemy Project Access Management, okay? So as you are deciding what to come out with, and you hate your life, thinking about suicide, and you're lonely, take a time out, okay? Every one, according to many psychologists in the literature, read up, publishing peer-review articles, analyses, that everyone in America is a little bit psychologically bent. That means mental illness, or basically classifiable mental illness, right? What have you. Criminally, mentally insane. I don't know where you're coming from as a man, okay? You might be lying to IRS, and you might be in DC right now or something. Just joking. And if this comes to me, it's not because Hollywood is making a joke out of himself through this work. It's that it's time to care. This is not controversial. This is about saving lives. So will you be okay? Rewind. Are you ready to come out? Will you be okay if I was able to promise you that I can teach you to love yourself? Not in a self-love, narcissistic, only to your benefit, step on people. But the selfishness of virtue that Ayn Rand wrote. Let me show you the book. One moment, please. Give you another chance also to check out my cute little butt. So I have a oh goodness, I think. Oh no, it's just fell out. My grandfather. So, anyways, Ayn Rand, The Virtue of Selfishness. This is about survival, not sacrificing mind to be brainwashed by some Christians, but to be selfishness in order to provide for yourself and eat food to survive. Okay, selfishness as virtue. Folks today are running around saying it's a very old book, but it's a gem. Got to get it in your library. People are running around saying that, you know, people are selfish, people are selfish. You know what? People are actually trying to maintain in a survival culture. And if they want to shop, let them shop. And if they want to be snobs about where they took vacations 3 times a year, let them do that. But another book that puts us into the essentials of fundamental Buddhism, which is concretely found as a thread throughout all religions. Thank you very much, Christians, for not telling that Buddhists are demonic. See, we don't need a racist God that's anti-Buddhist. You know, you don't work that way. Jesus does not work that way. So really, Christians, hold yourself. Yes, not me. Because I am in what they call the Japanese mind, essentials of Japanese philosophy and culture, okay? This is also in conjunction with books such as the Abracadabra Rudolf Steiner, Anthroposophy. Thank you, Dr. Hunter Francis, if you know what I mean, darling. Thank you for introducing this great expert on theosophy. But look, he created a term called intuitive thinking as a spiritual path. So as we were bringing out you, and then I have some other texts as well. As we are bringing out you, we are what? We are finding that you get it. Because there is an answer for you. That you always knew. I'm not becoming shock rock and a celebrity and rich and famous and conducting these retreats and people buying my books, well, in the future, you know, to show that one is not allowed to have a goal. I want you men to let me in on you and your life, and you know your responsibilities and those goals that you have. Even if it's as stupid as taking a vacation. Okay, that's just like an easy drop in the hat. But there are so many social climate issues that are beyond, you know, ecology and environment, but the social environment, not the trees and your clean air and clean water. One of my clients, I'm released to say this because something happened. Legally, I'm not able to talk about this, but one of my clients is responsible for 5 to 7 abortions. This client is a straight man, a retired architect, been around celebrities and everything. I'm in Los Angeles, to Santa Barbara, Montecito, and each girl that he talked into the abortion got the abortion. He assumes that some of them are just suffering from mental duress of some sort, or clinical depression statistically is proven that are more likely to suffer from. He doesn't give a damn, and he's had bad, horrible investments, dealings, and he has to talk to the big guy upstairs. Now, how masculine is that? Okay, so people are coming out. Are you ready to come out? Okay, do you know that you are special and capable, but you're not that special? You know, to like walk all over people and lie to the IRS and be just a jerk. So that being stated is really the introduction of your new story, your new life. Now, there's a famous comedian, and I contacted him. He wanted to speak with me. And I said to him, I says, are you ready for your new life to begin? Your new story? He says, oh, yeah, always. I says, because you're speaking to Tyler Lord Hamilton. And he's like, oh. And then I tell him everything, and he's been a dick. He's been killing his shows at the Improv, but I don't know what sickness is unnecessary to God's creation. You see, everything sick is going to pull through an ideal, okay? And it will show you what you really believe in. You coming out of whatever that means to you. Maybe you murdered somebody, maybe you molested somebody, maybe you are praying that God would kill somebody. I mean, I don't know. Just a minute. You know, my skin is getting a little oily. It's not very attractive. I'm getting embarrassed. It's my Greek blood inside of me, darling. It's not. It's the Armenian. So let me get back. Okay, so. I know this is a long video, but that's just tough shit, isn't it? Don't you think it is? Now, this is what I want to do. Just want you to come into my living, darling. Alright, everything in our producing, because we use everything as film arts, social arts theory in order to help men come out of the closet. And as we're working with them, they just unfold and let us know what we want to know in order to know how to work with them. And that gets into all different types of counseling alternatives and modalities. So, if your closet is dressing up as a woman, we're here to help you. Nothing is immature or foolish to do things like this as a gay man or with gay men or a straight man that's doing this with gay men, because you all love going to Disneyland, don't you? I am the Disneyland. I give you real life and Disneyland. You know that. You know. And you don't need to be so snooty out there. Alright, so moving right along. So, what you are creating is... Oh, open up my other compact. The other thing that you are creating is... The other one, I'll show you. What you are creating is a new story. And that might mean a new story as good as... You read it, don't you? Chanel. Barely clear. Yeah. Okay. You won our eyesight test. So, you don't need to go around thinking that your shit is the only shit that stinks so bad. Or you don't need to be going around thinking like your shit doesn't stink. You know the drill. And as you become more normal, by just being cool and chill and being creative, painting, sketching, performance artistry, what have you, you recognize that you are a man that can accept himself as a healthy, whole person, endowed with divine life and the wisdom to maintain it in freedom of action. Okay, this comes from Della Risa's church, Up Church in Los Angeles, and my very dear friend, best friend in ways, but not shared with any other of his friends. I'm kind of like in his little, you know, secret area of confidence, and you know, I help him, etc. But you know, his best friends with Della Risa and all this jazz. I'm not going to give his name because it's not about him. Because he's making great money, so he doesn't need me to advertise for him. Those days are over. Because no one advertises for me. Now, this is what Emerson said. Emerson was, I would just say, more than a writer, but a social philosopher, I would say. This is what he states, quote, "We cannot describe. We just cannot put to words. No matter your education," I'm adding to this, and always omitting for sure. We cannot always describe the natural history of the soul. What was that history, that backstory that brought your soul to where it is today, and how can you describe that? It's a really important principled thing as you are coming out. This is your tutorial. You write out, am I ready to come out? What is going to be that process? First off, you write, describe. Describe the experience that you have right now, knowing that you have a soul. You're more than money. You're more than a father to your wife and kids / husband and father. You are also a man that sees men to be very beautiful, and you appreciate them, and you want to be inclined to see your background of why you are afraid as a soul to come close to the gay man, to have him help you. To have him help you. I could barely even speak out with dentures in my mouth. Have him help you. Because you know that that divine appointment of first meeting me, you know you meeting me right now is a divine appointment. You know that because you're sitting here listening to the so far 20-minute video, that God is going to bless you in amazing ways this coming week or this coming weekend or what have you. Did you also know that I wish you many thanks and worlds of happiness right now before signing off? Many thanks and worlds of happiness. And I've already wished you the warmest salutations to your future. The warmest welcome by angelic drawing. They draw you in to complete your fate, your sweet destiny, your providence, and what you're going to find as a man. So you've got to sit with me right now, even if I'm new to you, and you've got to understand that we can describe, write this down, describe the natural history of the soul, acknowledge that it is divine, and that this is something you've always known, and no person has my money, and this is what you say to yourself, and no person needs my attention for power. And I use your attention to feed into my power through my culture of narcissism, and then I'm like conditioning you and mind fucking you and brainwashing you and telling you to go out and buy, give me money. If I'm out there promoting a book, that's just business. I mean, I'm out on the road. Someone needs to pay for that, So when you find me out there and doing retreats and flying back and forth to Berlin, London, while we're filming things in San Francisco and Beverly Hills, I mean, this is like really the hot time to be a man, not an LGBT, okay? That's a soft hit. Anybody can go around saying LGBT. I'm talking straight gay alliance or gay straight alliance. I'm talking about you straight man or homophobic, and nobody knows that you've discovered me on YouTube, okay? But you accept it in yourself. You affirm your health because you up here take action. I've said this in maybe one lecture, but a Hindu proverb states as follows: the minute you stop learning in your brain, your body dies. So the exercise right now is you sitting your ass down, don't calculating to the physical, but the mind. And listen to me, even if you want to turn me off because you think I'm disgusting. But that in this process, that's another point, is that as you are coming out, are you ready to come out? Is that you have a wonderful quality with or without this secret that you have. And it's just your divine makeup that was there as the genesis, okay? And today, it is the reunification of that pure moment when you were born into the world, because you were changed into a human being now because you are breathing oxygen, okay? And you're an infant. And you are born noble. You are not born sick. You are born buried in a grave first, because you know life and you know death. You come with full faculties. And in this you circulate in other people's universes, and what they believe is their ideal. So before the world was, they were. Because God, like them, had known you and minted you before you even entered into your mother's womb. Before the day you were born and conceived, God knew the date you were going to die. And you are a computer that came from a heavenly sphere of perfect love, and warmth. So this is the quote of Emerson, pardon me, to put into this, I can barely even speak. Double dentures and double lipstick. Okay. Quote, we cannot describe the natural history of the soul, but we know it is divine. But this is what I know, that these wonderful qualities did not now begin to exist, cannot be sick with my sickness, nor buried in any grave, but that they circulate through the universe before the world was, they were. Emerson. So the energy that you are going through, okay, that bullshit, like the last 10 years of your life, I can guarantee has been like this. You've done amazing stuff, and you've grown, and you're not going to want to acknowledge you've grown, or maybe you will acknowledge it. It's relative. Ethical relativity, moral relativism. But you are hitting the pavement right now and realizing your mommy cannot take care of you anymore. Your wife cannot take care of you while you're hiding these secrets, because you, in your sickness, will not bury yourself in the grave because you've been in the grave. And you can't sicken your life any more than the soul that brought you here, which was perfection. So all things work for the good. There's no need to even say that the bad is working for the good, because the bad is its good in its results, because good purges it, okay? And then with your selflessness, you can be selfish in the right way by virtue and Rand. You can use your thinking as a spiritual path in anthroposophy. In this case, I call it male-directed anthroposophy. And of course, my original lyrics. For my singing performances, I'm the male Lady Gaga, I'm bizarre aristocrat, you know, I am eccentric, I'm like your Andy Warhol. So don't condemn yourself in a pattern that isolates you and segregates you and makes you think with pompous and arrogance that you are better than everybody. So now that you find me today or this evening in your own, because I'm in front of your screen, what is technology going to do for the whole beingness, for you and me and those you love? And then you can throw me out because you're prejudiced to begin with, but probably not. You'll probably keep me around because I'm doing my best to be loved, and I'm trying to do the right thing when people are looking and when people aren't looking. So in the culture of being a hot mess, right, you have to understand there's no sickness that is unnecessary. You're already here. You already know where you're coming from. And that is because you know that you are your own architect. You're building your own life, your walls. You are your social alchemist, hence the work that I'm allowing you to campaign with Social Alchemy Project Access Management for the social transformative growth, the alchemy that's self-governed by each man and his consciousness because of law, because of impeachment, because of assassination, what have you, God forbid, or fake media, not fake media, hiring prostitutes and being a president, no consciousness, grabbing the JJ, no apologies for the sexual assault. US president needs to stand up against sexual assault. It hasn't done that. So as men, we must stand up. We can't just wait for women to come back for another fight against sexual assault recovery and prevention center work, and standing up for women's shelters and being men of courage and grace to stand tall over every obstacle as men, living a status quo, what have you, that is the American dream, that is a nightmare, and say that you are beyond a Me Too movement or a SARP movement, sexual assault recovery. You're beyond a gay movement, you are beyond an LGBT movement, you are beyond, you are post Donald J. Trump. So you know that in Caitlyn Jenner feeling she wants to further use her momentum because she's on track right now, trying to do things when people aren't looking, doesn't mean it's not a post-Caitlyn Jenner. It's a post-Social Alchemy project, if you want to even put it on me and get me to shut up, because I'm not trying to insult her. I'm saying it's a post-Tyler Lord Hamilton. One day I'm not going to be here, and one day you're not going to be here, and it's going to be post-you, and you're going to have to understand right now, are you going to matter or are you not going to matter? What is the legacy? Will you have kids? Will you're bisexual? It doesn't mean you can't put your kids through Harvard or encourage them to have the greatest GPA so they can have a scholarship through athletics, so they can be blessed and they can go out and bless other people because they are fishers of men and they are doing what we are teaching you to do, go out and disciple other people, not mentor them. That's become propagated by huge scandal, and we're not going there. We're not going there with a priest. We're not going there with anyone but you to guide your own every step, your own every decision, and every aspect of your own social alchemy project access management. This is your project. It is the access for you, for the glory of your good, what? Pure moment when you were born. So you go back to your backstory, people, and you learn where you've come from, and you do those mental cleansings and reflection and deliberation, and come out and you say, you know what, I get it, I'm hot, and Tyler Hamilton, thank you. So what I ask you to do is go out and give people wisdom. Go out and smile at people, because you are their creative team of architects like you to create a new story. This is about re-engineering our society. This is about re-engineering the way, rewiring the way we think in generalities, because you are the contractor of coming out. Only you will do that when it's time. I'm here not to hold your hand, but I'm here to hold your hand if necessary. You see? Do you see the strict, hard love? But then the understanding that for you to orchestrate and to pre-construct your procedure and your therapy and your counseling alternatives through the project, you are especially obtaining a building permit spiritually. Okay, this all comes from generations. It comes from out of Caitlyn Jenner's church, Kim Kardashian's church, Westlake Village, Calvary Community Church right across from Four Seasons, Biltmore, what have you, and the whole stretch is like Lamborghinis and Maseratis, very wealthy area. It's right out of Calabasas and Malibu. And so I went there one Sunday, and I'm like, that's Barbara Streisand. It's a long story. I don't get into it. I can later. But, you know, she's like waving at me. This is a crazy thing. But, like, she doesn't know who I am, does she? So, what you are doing is, I'm not asking you to take out short-term financing. I'm telling you that instead of paying down your bills, you're paying off your bills. And there is no financing, and there's no loan. You've already been approved to go ahead and say, I've made it, I've arrived, I shop at Trader Joe's, I shop for toothpaste at Whole Foods, I'm living the LA life, and I'm down to $20 for this next, you know, last, what have you, 2 weeks. Okay, I know that for you to grow spiritually, your money has to be taken care of. And so you are an individual in a mankind greater civilization. You can join other men to fulfill your collective vision with them and share with them and reach more into their pure heart of the goodness they came into the world knowing. There's nothing that lacks dignity about this. There's nothing that lacks humility about this, nor generosity to take care of you. Yet, to love mercy and forgive quickly and release people from the fears that they have because you are rolling upon a new self, a new opening up of your wallet. For who? You. So all of your problems are because of you don't feel smart enough about your money. You're angry about your socioeconomic standards. You want to know what is the true biblical social justice. I'm not here to tell you that the I had to put in dentures, I can't even speak. That the Democrats and the Republicans both failed at social justice. You don't talk like that. This is what they teach in Kim Kardashian's church. No, everybody has succeeded. Yes, we've failed, but in the interim of rising as a phoenix, the life of the flower after the volcano and the ashes mix in with the soil. You know, the life when you like said goodbye to like your foolish living, but yet you're always going to be going through those clicks into your next epoch or your next era, what have you, your next decade. You're going to have that aha moment like Oprah Winfrey talks about. So let's go ahead and tell you, oh my goodness, let's tell you that I am here to drink my tea. Pardon me. Now, in About You Coming Out, oh, this is my grandfather, Paul Boyer. He can come out later on in my documentary work or my autobiographical sketches and things like this. But to all of you, this came from a healing workshop at Up Church held by John Downey III. And he says, all state this, and we all were to read this out loud. But obviously, you're not here with me reading this, so there you go. And I'm not using my technology to go ahead and flash it up onto the screen. So you know what? You can just forget that. It's too much work. Healing is based on mental cleansing. And in Social Alchemy Project Access Management, I'm going to flush you out through that. There are reasons why you are not coming out of the closet. It's not that I'm here to make you come out of the closet. It's here for me to tell you that there is something, and I'm going to tell you that something as you get more involved. Why you are not coming out. Why you are uncomfortable to see who you are. See, healing is based on mental cleansing, right? When the mind is free from error thoughts that are of error, harmony in the body ensues. Harmony must come of that, however, and to tell you that it will be permitted. Because I tell you, the mind always wants to make sense out of itself, even if you get angry and panicky or whatever. Permanent healing is never accomplished until the mental cause of the disease, the error thought, is removed. So you have to go through the manure to get to the flowers. Do you hear that? It's not that the reward is your money or your new house or your results. The reward is in the journey to get to that new house or to buy those new shoes you need to get. Okay. Jesus would say, sin no more. And he cast out the error that caused that condition. Okay, so I'm not going to get more into John chapter 5, verse 15. The thing I'm telling you is that when you come out right now in your mind that you're not out with other people, which you think that's what out means. Out means being out with you right now and seeing why you want to turn this video off. Because it's telling you something that you already inherently know. This is not about how some people will say you have to destroy the fear and you destroy it forever. I believe while we're here, it's kind of resonating with us, you know? It kind of breathes itself into our daily living and then our goals and our thinking of what we always wanted as a child, but we got afraid, is the thing now that we call would be error, because we're being narcissistic because of our selfies, our Facebook, our Twitter. I believe instead of putting all you narcissistic fuckers down that say if I don't support your selfies you think I'm joking around, I believe instead of, you know, bitch slapping you right now, I'm going to say I accept you. You see, this is the way you are flowing into each moment that you have for you. Later on, I will be talking more about yours truly, healing. But in the moment that stands, I think you understand that coming out is something that you've already done. I love you, and I will take the bullet for you to show you that love. I'm not looking for a bullet, and I'm not going to advocate for a bullet. I'm not attracting the permission in some type of dark round to intrigue that type of thought. But my point is that I need to put brown color in my hair. It's too silvery.